The life of a bounty hunter in Stanton's a hard life. It's a wolf full of dog-eat-dog competition, where you can lose in an instant and go home with nothing but an empty belly. The criminals are clever too. They know Grim Hex is the only place that they can go, and they think that they're safe. But they'll need to think again. See, when there's Wulong's on the table, life, or rather death, always finds a way. And what's a better way to make a living than some UEE-sanctioned ultra-violence? And let's face it, if it wasn't me, it would just be someone else. This is my story of cleaning up criminal players instead. Most of these low-life punks, they all end up at Grim Hex eventually. It's like a roach motel for criminals. They check in, but they ain't checking out so easy. A lot of them, they just sit in their hangars, scared stiff like a cat in a hot tin roof. Why? Because the minute those doors crack open, they're not just getting a tan, they're getting turned into a colander. It's a real jungle out there, folks, and you gotta be sharper than a freshly sharpened shiv. Now, bounty hunting, see, it ain't for the faint of heart. Everyone's looking for a piece of the pie, so you gotta be slicker than a greased weasel on a water slide. My move? EVA right up to those hangar doors. The second the target's trying to lift off, when the doors start to open, that's my cue. Slip right in, quiet as a mouse wearing fuzzy slippers. I get a lucky break. Some rival clown, he clipped the wing on my Mark's Eclipse. I figured, he's gotta land now, right? He's mine, like a free slice of pizza. But nah, this guy was a slippery one, like a greased copian at the New Babbage Fair. He blew right past both of us and disappeared into the black. Go figure, some guys are just born lucky. Or maybe they got a guardian angel wearing concrete shoes. Next up, my target turned out to be the very corsair that was chasing the Eclipse. Nothing a few well-placed missiles from my Shrike couldn't handle. See, those flashy space battles, they're good for show, like a bad UEE soap opera. But the real money, the real thrill, that's when you get them on foot. My next mark, holed up in some dusty mining facility on a planet, probably looking for fool's gold. But like I said, this job's brutal, like a cell enclosure without air conditioning. If you ain't the first one there, some trigger-happy moron might just nuke your bounty from orbit. And then what you got? Nothing but a hole in your wallet and a bad taste in your mouth. I tried the hangar door trick again. This time it was a massive hammerhead, looking like a pregnant whale in space. I thought, now this is my chance. A big old tub like this, I can get in before it even clears the pad, like a fat guy trying to get out of a phone booth. But nah, that Hulk was too damn fast for my old man legs. I needed a smarter play. A way to get my guy and leave the competition in the dust. Something slicker than a politician's promise. But when you know it, I practically bumped into my next target right there at Grim Hex. A stroke of luck, maybe. I figured, what if I could just slip into his hangar's elevator? Get in before he even sets foot in his ship, before he's got any real protection, like a rat in a maze. The plan was solid, so I waited for my opportunity. The Mark finally runs for the elevator, but wouldn't you know it, some other wise guy has the same idea as me. We're like two dogs chasing the same bone. Well, the target, he seems to notice this and decides to switch elevator. But wouldn't you know it, we're both hot on his heels. And so we both get in the elevator. And he still doesn't seem to mind. Is this guy crazy? I think it's gonna be something he later comes to regret.
And you've already done plenty of things to regret. You just don't know what they are. It's when you discover them. When you see the folly in something you've done, and you wish that you had it to do over. But you know you can't, because it's too late.
Even after that little elevator incident, you know, the one that looked like a Nine-Tails hit squad decided to throw a party, it turns out whoever actually pulls the trigger gets the green. My hard work, right into some other guy's pocket. It's like showing up for a fancy dinner and watching some schmo you don't even know eat your steak. But hey, life goes on for some, and we're back in the lobby. No sooner do I get there than some other lowlife thinks he can play hide-and-seek in the bowels of Grim Hex. But the place is swarming with bounty hunters, like moths to the flame. Now, I ain't want to follow the crowd. That's for sheep, and I'm more of a wolf, you see. So I tried the elevator strategy again. And my new pal, he came along for the ride too. Funny thing though, our body cam footage mysteriously disappeared. Like a politician's promise, gone in a puff of smoke. Convenient, right? After that second hit, I actually got paid. Imagine that, me and my new friend. We had a nice little chat back in the lobby. Good to know that even in a dump like Grim Hex, you're never truly safe. Makes things interesting, don't it? Keeps you on your toes like a tightrope walker with a bad hangover. Time to head back to space. This next clown was just sitting at an orbital marker in a Buccaneer. Now, I know I said these criminals are supposed to be smart, but when you got 4 size 3 missiles coming your way, it's not the time to be admiring the view. It's time to be hitting the gas like you just saw your ex-wife coming down the street. Their next target was doing some shady work for Vaughn, trying to unload a Corsair into a Carrack. I was quiet as a church mouse on Sunday. No way he was going to see me coming. I parked my ship right alongside his and slithered my way over. Just then another hunter swoops in, trying to nuke everything around us like a kid with a new toy. Lucky for me, I landed the finishing blow, and somehow arbitrarily decided by the Bounty Hunting Guild, this time they blessed me with 150k. Who knows what they're doing? Grabbed whatever was left in the Corsair and headed back to Grim Hex. But wouldn't you know it, station security still got a stick up their ass about stolen ships. They confiscated everything. It's like making a great sandwich and then the deli owner tells you can't eat it. Next up, some wise guy was loitering in the safe zone above Area 18. In the safe zone, all your ship's weapons are disabled. So what's the brilliant plan these geniuses come up with? Ram in the ship. Truly men of high intellect, I tell you. Like a bunch of kids playing bumper cars with million-credit starships. What a headache. Anyway, with that fiasco over, the next target was way out in deep space. I pulled off a neat little trick, jumping between 2 points, with him right in the middle. It was someone doing the 890 jump mission. As always, I parked alongside and EVA'd over to the ship. Stealthily working my way to the bridge, I made it to the main deck. But then, just like all things in Stanton that make too much sense, it vanished right before my eyes. Poof! Gone, like a good alibi after a bad night. No harm done, I figured. The target's still floating in space, so I took him out. But the ever-watching hand of the Bounty Hunting Guild decided that nope, this wasn't my kill. No reward for me. Thanks for nothing, fellas. It's like doing all the cooking for Thanksgiving dinner and then your cousin takes all the credit for the turkey. I was feeling pretty low knowing someone else was cashing in my hard work. But a pro like me, you just gotta be tougher than a $2 steak. You just gotta keep pushing, no matter what. Next up, we're back in deep space with a team of bounty hunters, tracking what seems to be just a box. After all of us questioning our life choices for a few minutes, the target somehow ends up back at Grim Hex. Not wanting to waste any time, I scoop myself over there pronto. I managed to arrive just as he's about to get his ship out. This is my moment to strike. This is how I stay ahead of the competition. The guy had no clue. I dealt with him quietly so as not to alert any of the hangar crew. These people really should be more observant of their surroundings. I headed back to the lobby like it was no big thing. Next, we had a constellation coming a little bit too hot in Grim Hex. I fired a couple of missiles and got in close for the kill, but yet again, the fickle gods of the bounty hunting guild ain't smiling on me today, giving the credits to someone else. Anyway, on to the next one. Another deep space job. As soon as I get close enough, I slowly realize what I'm up against here. No matter, we push on like some tenacious space weasel with a grudge. Pulling up alongside the Idris, it was clear that other bounty hunters were also on the case. Without wasting any time, I jump out of the Titan and float my way over. My usual strategy of knifing my way in seemed to have no effect on the airlock of the Idris, and I just pummeled my way at it like some enraged beast. Eventually, after lots of gunfire from inside the ship, someone must have gotten to the target. At least I was able to break out the airlock, though. I decided to float over to the bridge to see what had gone down, but when I got there, all I could hear was the shrill tone of the auto-destruct sequence. These wise guys had rigged the ship to blow. I had to get away. Who knows when it would go up? Anyway, the ship explodes, and I'm thinking the explosion was about as exciting as lighting fireworks without an atmosphere. But then, boom! The whole thing goes up. And that's the end of my story. I may have gotten a few bounties as well as one hell of a headache, but at least we look cool doing it, right? The bounty hunting guild really needs to sort its act out, though. Those guys are in shambles over there. Anyway, until next time.